Hi, this is Natalia with Enchanted Herbals and the Rooted Womb. So today I'm going to film this in the reflection of a mirror because what I'm going to talk about is self-acceptance and self-love, self-care. They all go together. So in self-acceptance, as I sit here contemplating the times in my past that I was not acceptance of who I am and being okay with that. That is part of self-acceptance, right? Is to acknowledge that there has been some times that weren't great, and then there's times that are great, right? So there's times that we're shining bright and times that we're darker, and accepting all of that. So I feel like, this has been going on for as far back as time can go, is to accept yourself for who you are. That doesn't mean that we don't strive to do better in our life. It's just accepting those things. The past we can't change. So even going back and looking at some of the choices that you might have made in the past that you might not feel were good choices, but they did bring you to where you are now. And acknowledging that you've made some really bad choices in your life and you've made some really good choices in your life, and accepting that. Self-acceptance is also about what the wounds your body carries, and accepting those wounds for the lessons that they are. Maybe some things you physically can't change or alter, but you can accept them and honor them for what they are. Just as if you met somebody with the same wound, what would you say to them? Would you push them away, or would you accept them for who they are? So self-acceptance, especially in today's society, I'm going to be talking about vanity and how we appear, and how we look and we go out into the world, and what does that mean? So a lot of today's perception of how you see people through social media is an illusion. It's we can pick and choose what we want to post. We can alter how we look. We can take 600 selfies before we actually post one that we feel we like, one that shows us the way that we want to be seen in the world. We can even get apps now that can alter how your body looks, just like the modeling industry, how they take off a little bit here, cinch in the waist here, lift the boobs here, whatever it might be. There's an apps that you can get now that you could do that at home. So then now you're altering your own self and posting it on social media. And then we have even just the complexity of makeup nowadays, like how you can alter your true look through contouring and changing the depth of your face. And then, of course, we have plastic surgery. So actually manipulating, going in and changing things, plumping up your lips so they look more of what the fad is. So it's just, one thing to remember, this fad's going to change, and where are you going to be at that? So you're going to always be searching in the vanity sense for the next fad to come along on how you think you should look, or how society is telling you you should look. So trying to keep up in that space is gonna be exhausting, right? And I can go back into my past and even who I am now. I can say 100% that I've had times of vanity issues where I just didn't feel that comfortable in my body enough to shine in the situation that I was in. And that's kind of how I was raised, how I was brought up. I, did not honor my body. I was really overweight, starting from a young age, and got worse as I went into high school, and was made fun of, called a lot of names, and really just took my inner dialogue into a dark place and just didn't accept me for who I was. So I was always striving, or always, not even striving, just always, my inner dialogue was always so negative towards this gift of being alive. And then that appeared like later on, my body started struggling with some health issues, and because the mind just didn't believe in the body, it goes into an even deeper, darker place. So um, it's it's really a gift to be alive, to have a physical body. And I feel that one of the primary things that we need to honor in this physical body is self-care and self-love. It's one of the most difficult things that we could go through, because we're the easiest to push aside and move forward into somebody else's life or somebody else's wanting. But it's so important to have that self-care and value yourself enough to really take care of this body. Like I always told my kids, like, this body is going to get you through your entire life. This body is going to do all the things that you're striving to do, all the joys, all the pleasures that you want to do. So you have to take care of it. Otherwise, it's not going to allow you to go into those places, or you're not going to have the body to honor anymore and be here. As we get older, that's another whole realm in vanity, not only just being young and our young women trying to come into who they are, even our young men trying to come into who they are. But as we get older, it's looked down upon to have a wrinkle here, to get some sagging there in society, when it's in reality, it is a pure 100% gift to get older. The alternative is not to be here at all. So it's really about embracing life, and finding that self-acceptance from this second, this moment on, like right here, right now. This is life. This is living right now in this present moment. And then I can accept my past. I can accept my darkness, my dark times, those times where I really made really bad fucking choices. And then those times where I made really great choices. Times when my inner dialogue was really awful, times when my outer dialogue was really awful, and vice versa. I can really accept that from this moment on and be like, okay, I didn't like this part that I did, and I accept that, and I can move forward and maybe try not to go back into that place and do that again. So self-acceptance is a continual motion, right? So I might say something right now, and then 10 minutes later be like, oh man, why'd I say that? Or have my inner dialogue be like, really nasty to me. I'm doing this video, and am I going to start kind of trying to figure out how I really want to place my body so it looks the best, when in reality, I just need to speak my truth and accept me for who I am, and really value the body that I have at this time for what it is. And again, so self-acceptance isn't compliance. It doesn't mean that you stay in a place that's not good for you. It means that you acknowledge that, and then you move forward in it. So self-acceptance comes in all bodies, right? So it comes in our physical body, our mental, emotional body, as well as our spirit body, is really just kind of accepting where you're at in this moment. Spiritually too, when I kind of started out, well, I mean, we all start the spiritual process. We're spiritual beings from the time we start to grow in the womb. But there's a point in our life that maybe we think of enlightening ourselves and going a little deeper. And when I started that process, I kind of thought that I was just going to reach this one place, this place where I was just going to feel great all the time. But the issue is with that is that we are in a human body to feel, and we're not going to feel great all the time. So we need to accept those dark places. We need to accept those times where we want to be introvert and we want to withdraw. We don't want to talk to people. We want to cover up every aspect of our body, or we want to expose every aspect of our body. It's just really about learning who you are in that moment. And things that I like today, I might not like tomorrow. So being okay with changing and growing and moving. I do suggest that maybe you find your true core values. These are things that will will stay constant in your life enough to help you really find the foundation of who you are, to really build strength of who you are. So whatever that might be, you have a few of those or as many as you want of those wonderful core values. And then the rest is like decoration that's around you, the things that you like maybe today you're really into red heart glasses, so I'm going to wear those for as long as I want. Maybe tomorrow not so much. Maybe I want to wear blue square glasses, like whatever it might be. These accessories of life is what makes us colorful and makes us grow and makes us express who we are in that moment. So when we get back into like really loving who you are. Now, I battle with this, like I said, every person does. There's points in their life when they really don't want to accept how they look, how their body shape is, sizes of things, too small, too big, too droopy, too not, whatever it might be, we can always find something wrong with ourselves. So I encourage you to really find that place to accept and love yourself, even if at the beginning it's in your own home and you're comfortable with even taking everything off, nothing to hide anything, and you just kind of admire yourself for a little bit. You kind of twirl from space to space. You find what makes you feel good. You allow that inner dialogue to be as nourishing as you can in that moment. And when you get that starting to creep up, oh look, I wish these were a little higher here, or whatever it might be that you're looking at, that you're judging, immediately start to change it and be like, man, you're perfect and you're beautiful, and I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to breathe in breath of life and move my body the way it can be. I've been in places at times in my life where I had no movement. I could not move. I was sick, and I had to get back into movement really slowly. So where I'm at right now, I truly appreciate the movement and flexibility of my body. And I try not to go into that place of judging those perceived flaws of myself. And I try to really nourish as much as I can. Now, that being said, I go into those places. We all do. But I'm not going to, I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept those times where I feel doubtful about my abilities and who I am, and just allow my mind, my mental body, the voice to voice that. But then I transform it. I turn it around in some form. So don't allow that to sit on your couch for a long time and just take over your life, all that doubt that we can sit in. Allow yourself to hear it and be okay. Maybe I'm disappointed in this aspect of me in this moment, and learn to accept that disappointment, because it takes us out into life. Like, you're not going to be able to please everybody around you. And people will be disappointed in you, and that's okay, because that's their feelings. That's who they are. It doesn't reflect who you are internally. That's something that they need to go through. So even in our own selves, like when we have disappointment in where we're at, what we're doing, we made a bad choice, you said something really terrible, anything like that, it's accepting it. Because once we accept it and we let the body or the mind, whichever system we're in, be disappointed in that action, then it just dissolves. It's when we fight against it that it holds on even tighter, and then it starts to settle into tissue and create conflict. So really learning to accept yourself every moment, right? Again, here we are. I said life before, like this is this moment right now. This is living right now, right? When I said it before, it was like maybe 5 minutes ago. A lot's changed in this 5 minutes for me, and sitting here and honoring my voice and talking about self-acceptance, So where am I right now? Can I still accept everything that I just said? Still looking back to learning about all the things in the past that's happened to me and learning to move forward healthy in the future. So when you are deciding for that moment, this moment in life right now, how you're going to present yourself to the world, I encourage you to find that within your heart, within yourself. There are a lot of illusions out there that you might want to grasp onto and think that that's what your value of vanity is. There's a lot of, in the entertainment business, the modeling, music, acting, you really look to see why you value this person, or you look up to someone in your life. Do they align with your core values, or do they align with what your perception of vanity should be for you? So anything that becomes this fad, plump up your lips, create a huge ass, whatever the fad is right now in this moment, will pass. And then where will you be in that moment? Will you be grasping for the next fad to come along? Can you find your positive, loving, internal vanity that comes from the heart and your spirit self? Something that just makes you glow from the inside out, without following these unhealthy trends. There are a lot of people that are out there that, especially our youth, but not only our youth, but especially our youth, are looking up to as role models. And I don't know these people personally. I'm guessing that 99% of the youth don't know any of these people personally. Once again, they're only seeing the illusion of what these people choose to put out there of themselves. For me, a role model is somebody who has fallen and gotten back up, somebody who has found their truth amongst the chaos that's around them. It's somebody who really has great integrity. Like, these are the things that I truly core value in my life. So I encourage you to find that. Don't just follow suit because it's a fad to follow suit. And I'm not judging, and I'm not trying to be shameful to anything. I'm just trying to plant a seed for you to start to really value the things that are important in life. Stepping out into your truth and into the beauty of who you are can be looked down upon, right? We're following suit in this concept of being sheeple, right? So we're just kind of following what people are doing. Find your own truth. Find your own value. Find what vanity means to you, and maybe it's just a healthy lifestyle that allows you to radiate inspiration and integrity to people. So if you're still in that place where you really want to appear beautiful in the sense of how society is claiming what beauty is in this moment, right? So following a crowd, then that's fine. Like, just honor that and accept that about yourself. But I encourage you just to dig a little deeper, and at some point in your life, find your own true sense of vanity and who you are. So once again, it's, I fall all the time and I get back up, and I try to really respect where my body's at. I've been in places where I didn't know how my body was going to come out the other end, if I was going to survive or not. So I really get a little harder on myself when I decide to really go into the place of vanity that doesn't fill my values, and I fall myself into that place of shame. And then it's like, okay, why would you think that way? You should be grateful for life, right? Well, I have to allow myself to be disappointed and then move forward in it. So it's almost even like a little kid, when they come up and they're trying to voice their anger or their frustration, but they don't quite have the words, right? If you stop them right there and you keep talking over them, they're going to keep going. It kind of keeps getting worse. A tantrum happens, you know. If we can find a place to just calm down and let them vent and let them start to articulate what it is they're going through, it dispels, it releases, you know. So give yourself that kindness and respect to be able to do that. So just coming back full circle here, reminding you that you are incredibly beautiful. You know, follow your heart, honor all the bumps and the things that maybe you don't feel like you want to value in your body, all the sagging tissue, the wrinkles, all these beautiful things that are a gift of living life, you know. Honor them as much as you can. I will do my part as well to follow suit with my integrity and really honor my body. And, you know, it's my choice when I expose my body fully to people, and it's my choice when I decide not to and be more reserved. And I'm going to try to really honor that as much as I can as well. And from this moment on, right here, right now, right, I can really say, okay, I see what I've done in the past, and I'm going to learn and move forward into the future in a way that's self-accepting and loving. So maybe write down some of the things that are your core values. Really learn about yourself. You know, the body is a gift. It really, truly is. It's going to function for you and live through life for you as long as you want to go, as long as you keep it healthy, vibrant, and alive in a good way. Also watch my video about food is medicine. That is a physical aspect of living a healthy life with integrity with food and self-acceptance on how you eat and honor your body. Remember that we default back to our upbringing in a stressful time. So even start to look at how you were raised and who raised you and how they dealt with stress and self-acceptance themselves. When things got hard, what were you shown to do and how were you shown to process those hard things? And that's not blaming the people who raise us, but it's just becoming aware of that and learning to accept it and change it, right? So self-acceptance brings forth change and brings forth the stability to shine and be who you want to be. So if you had a self-destructive kind of upbringing where your family turned to alcohol or drugs when they got stressed out or things got hard, look into your life and see if you check out in a similar way or even the same way, you know. Or maybe you had an upbringing where your family stopped and really looked at what they were doing and learned to process in a different way. Look at that. See how you were, how that affects you. So once again, I don't know if you can see my shirt, if the mirror and then it goes backwards and it reflects. I don't know. There's so much reflection going on here. In fact, when I started making this video, this is the third time doing the video. The first time my daughter came home and came in behind me, and so I stopped. And then the second time, my voice, I went into a huge coughing fit for like 30 minutes, like really clearing out some of that old self-acceptance just in my voice and who I am. And so it's important for me to really continue with these videos and just sharing from my heart and letting you know the struggles that I've gone through and some of the tools that I've used to get out of those struggles. So I thank you for taking the time to listen to the video and let my voice be heard. I really appreciate that. Anyways, my shirt says love yourself. I don't know if you can read it. One of my favorite shirts. And it's hard sometimes, right? And I totally get it. But I encourage you, I'm going to say 96% of the time, to really love yourself. Really get in front of that mirror and tell yourself all the beautiful things that you are, all those little quirky things that you are, all the movement that you have, the flexibility that you have. You know, we have innate wisdom that the body is taking care of itself every moment, right? The heart beats on its own, we digest on its own. So much happens under the scene that it's going right in the body. So much is going right in the body. So really acknowledge that. and allow that to just kind of float out into your life. You know, we get really caught up in looking at all the negative, the pain, and the things that are going on that are more dark in our life, because that's there to help us learn more and be more gracious and grow. But there's far more things going right in our bodies and our life. So really sit with that and be in that space. Learn your tools. So remember, learn your core values, what's really important to you, and really hold those in. Learn great tools to help you process through some of these deep emotions that come up when you really start accepting yourself. You might really start to feel some of your past events that you might have done that are really crappy, because we've all made really shitty choices in the past. And you need to forgive yourself and really be aware of it and move forward in honoring that you're not going to do those anymore, or at least do your best not to do them anymore. So love yourself. Find a good role model. Please find a good role model, somebody who's inspiring and aligns with your core values. Try to respect yourself enough to not alter your body in any negative way, and really post some raw fucking pictures of yourself, you know? Post these things, you know, you get one photo. You take that photo and you're going to post it. Just honor all the places that are in you. And I'll do my best to do that, because that's hard, right? That's really vulnerable with not only people that you know, but people you have no idea who they are. So what are they going to do with that, right? But you know what? We really shouldn't give a fuck. Really shouldn't matter. So honor you. I will always see you in love and light. Make your choices as well as you can so they're beautiful and gracious, and don't hurt people. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt the plants. Don't hurt the animals. Be kind. Thank you so much for listening today. I honor you. Love yourself.